Hello, it's Adedoyin Jaiyesimi here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a bite-sized comms course on mastering the art of church communications. Over the last few months, I've read articles and commentaries focused on giving advice or counsel to people who manage social media in churches, really talking about should they be capturing people during their vulnerable moments. For example, when somebody is crying, when somebody is praying, when somebody is manifesting. How exactly should churches be communicating in this world that we live in today? And as I read the commentaries, read the articles, I really felt nudged to create this bite-sized comms course on the topic, because the reality of it is that content creation is actually embedded within the communication strategy of a church. If you do not have a solid communication strategy that is guiding how we communicate, why we communicate, how we create content, what exactly is our message, what are we putting out, then just addressing the content that is posted on social media is like you're just dealing with the symptoms and not the root cause of the issue. And so this bite-sized comms course is focused on teaching the fundamentals of church communication. And this is a topic that really resonates with me because I've spent some years in my career as a church communicator, so I have lived experience of this practice area. My first official communications role when I started my career was being the brand communications manager at Adedoyin Ministries, and I was responsible for managing the senior pastor's brand, Reverend Victor Adeyemi. I was also responsible for managing communications for Global Harvest Church, that's the international headquarters, which is located in Lagos. And then I was responsible for coordinating communications across 12 branches of the church. Let me tell you, that role stretched me, because if you've read my book From Clueless to Success, you will know that when I got into that role, I was very, very clueless. But it was like a blank slate for me, and even for the church. So that was the first time that they were going to have a brand communications manager. So I didn't have any templates, I didn't have anything I was working with. So I had to learn a lot on the job, had to do a lot of research. But what that experience taught me was how to build from scratch, how to develop the right structures, how to develop a cohesive team, how to, all the things that I learned, I'm going to be teaching them in this bite-sized comms course. So let me not give everything away in this video. The next role that I had after that was being the communications consultant for the late Pastor Taiwo Odukoya, where I was responsible for managing his social media content as well as supporting the communications team at Fountain of Life Church. That was a different experience as well, because the church had a more established approach to communications. Pastor Taiwo and Reverend Victor, different personalities, a lot of learning. I had to really make some adjustments. So I'll share with you some of the things that I learned, mistakes that I made, things that looking back now I would have done differently in this bite-sized comms course. So there's going to be 4 videos where we're going to be looking at the fundamentals. We're going to the foundation. What exactly is church communication? How do you create your church communication strategy? One that is cohesive and one that aligns with the church's or the ministry's mission and vision. How do you effectively structure your church communication? Because the reality is that for a lot of churches, the communications team is largely filled with volunteers. So how do you properly structure your communications team and ensure that everybody in the team, including the volunteers, are operating in accordance with best practices and are properly trained? See, let me tell you the thing about church communications. It's not just so much just pick up the phone, be recording content and post it on social media. No, there has to be an understanding of strategic communications. There has to be an understanding of how this thing is done. This is a competence that needs to be built. So you also have to develop the capacity of your team members. And I will wrap it up by sharing how to excel as a church communicator, especially for those of you that this is your full-time work in-house and you want to do this really, really well. So I really hope that you enjoy watching this comms course. I hope that you learn a lot. As you watch, feel free to drop a comment under each video. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. My prayer is that as you watch this comms course from the beginning to the end, that you will gain valuable knowledge, tools, and frameworks that you can take back to your church and begin to apply it, and you will see the difference in terms of the kind of results that you achieve through the great work that you do as a church communications professional. So enjoy the course, and I look forward to reading your comments and your feedback about the course. Bye.